All right. I'm inviting you to.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mihara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
Hey, Tampa Bay. Welcome back to the Business Happy Hour radio show, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. As usual, having a little fun doing some tech stuff. Before we get live on the show today, you guys are going to notice Senia looks totally different today. If you guys are watching the video, you're going to be like, Senia, you've grown, some darker hair. You've gotten a little thicker. It's okay. It's not Senia. We've got Mike CINQUEMANO in studio today with me. It's his first time on radio, so go easy on him, guys. He is the newest member of Mihara and Associates. Senia decided she needed the day off, and I said, well, Sen, you've got to bring me somebody as good as you, and that's what she brought me, Michael, so he's on the spot today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Dude, you sound great.
Thanks. Excited to be here.
All right. And I can tell he's got some excitement in him. Mike's got a great story. We're going to be talking the real estate market today, good or bad. You're going to find out what we think. Some interesting things happened recently with the new Fed chair release. We'll probably talk about that in the late first segment and beginning the second segment. I saw that silver and gold dropped tremendously with the announcement of maybe they're not going to push the rates down so much. Maybe there's alternatives. Have you heard this, Mike?
I have. So yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yes, very interesting. Now, the one thing I can say, we don't get too political on the show unless it's around the political times, which we got a little time before that happens in the midterms. But love him or hate him, Donald Trump is a real estate mogul. Yes, It's where he made his billions of dollars, and he's a businessman. And I think that's the reason a lot of us elected him.
Yep.
So I would just say this to listeners, and Mike, give your opinion too, but I just say you got to have faith. You got to have faith that he's going to make the right decisions. He cares about our economy. Even if you think he doesn't care about other people, I do think he cares about money and real estate and the economy.
I do. I agree. And I believe that, with his background, he's always going to do what he can do to keep things moving in the right direction. So yeah, I'm confident in him, and I think this year will be a great year.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing. I think it's going to be a phenomenal year. A little later in the show, we'll talk about some of these alternative strategies because it's not just interest rates that can spur the economy. Kind of interesting. I got invited to speak, I think it's like the end of the month, at a library and go over some mortgage education things with a big group of people. Okay. And they sent me the address. And I don't know about you if you knew this, but Obama has a brand new library in St. Petersburg.
I did not.
It is the Barack Obama Presidential Library of St. Petersburg, something like that. And I'm like, what?
Interesting.
We kind of joke in politics the other day about it, and I said, I was not a big fan of Obama as a president. I didn't like a lot of his policies, but it's important to realize you're always going to have something in common. You're going to like something about something that one of the presidents do, even if you didn't vote for him.
Sure.
And one of the things, we're going to jump right into this before we even learn about Michael, but one of the things that I found that I really liked about a policy Obama did was, do you remember this, Michael, the $8,000 home buyer credit, the first-time home buyer credit he did?
I don't.
Okay, we just figured out something about Michael. He's honest. He's not one of those guys who's full of it and is like, yeah, I remember that, and then I put him on the spot. No. So during Obama's 10-year term, whatever you want to call it, he decided to give an $8,000 tax credit if you were a first-time home buyer. And what that meant was when you bought your first home, if you owed the IRS money up to the tune of $8,000, you didn't owe them anything. Even better, if you didn't owe them money, or let's say you owed them $4,000, they sent you a check for $4,000. Yeah. So he didn't drop the rates.
Right.
He did something else, and that really spurred the real estate market. And I liked it, and it helped my business and helps my family. And that's the way I kind of look at things. It's like, people, I hate Trump, this and this. Well, the guy's not dating my daughter.
Right.
What I mean?
Big level, we need to know, what are you going to do to help us and our careers and, help our clients that we're working with. Right.
It's the business leaders and business owners like us and the self-employed individuals that a lot of time drive the economy. And if we're, trickle down economics, however you want to look at it, but if we're not doing well, then other people probably aren't doing well.
Sure.
So I'm excited. One thing that Trump brought up recently, which we haven't heard much about yet, but mark my words, I have a feeling when this guy takes over, which, by the way, is not till the end of March. All right, everybody's thinking, oh, he's taking over now. No, he's not taking over now. He just happened to announce it.
Right.
Is they're talking about the 50-year mortgage.
Yes.
Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it.
All right, so what's your opinion? Have you looked into it?
A little. I know a lot of people have various opinions, and some people think it's the worst thing in the world. I'm kind of just in the ballpark of the more options buyers have, the better it is for everybody. It's not going to be an option that's going to be, suitable for every client out there, but it's another tool in the toolbox.
That's funny. Of all the people we've talked about this, nobody has put it in that perspective before. And that's a really, really clean perspective. I like it. It's just more arrows in your quill.
Yeah.
It's another tool. So for the guys who are out there, and I'm the mathematician, obviously, as soon as I heard this, I started running the numbers, which, what the hell, let's just do it for the listeners real quick.
Sure.
Let's see what happens. Michael, what would you say the average home price is around here these days?
$450.
All right, great. I would agree with that 100%. Yeah. So let's just do a $450 mortgage. All right, now maybe you're getting 100% financing, which Michael and I are going to talk about today. We're going to talk about FHA 100% financing. We're going to talk about VA 100% financing, and the little-known USDA 100% financing product. But let's say you got a $450,000 mortgage. We're going to put it on a 30-year term. And let's give them today, the rates are actually better than people think right now. Hold on, I'm going to put you on the spot again. I love putting people on the spot. What do you think the 30-year fixed rate is today?
I would say 6.1 something.
I love this guy. All right, so that's probably what Google says, 6.1, but that's what our consumers see, right? So the average 30-year fixed on the broker side right now is about 5.75 to 5.875.
Wow.
But until people like me and you get on the radio or get on TV or social media and say it, people are going to think they're in the sixes.
Sure.
All right. So, side note, you guys can get better rates right now than what you think. But let's go back to this. Let me look at this payment and see. I'm going to use 5.875 just to be safe. Let's put that in. All right, 5.875. All right, on a 30-year mortgage at 5.875, your payment is going to be $2,661. That's principal and interest. Yeah. Everybody knows that does not include your tax and insurance, so that your payment would be more than that if you're escrowed for tax and insurance.
Sure.
If you get a 50-year mortgage, let's see what happens. Same rate, same loan amount.
Yeah.
You go down to $23.27. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? $335
Sure.
a month.
Sure.
So I wonder. I've never done this before, so I've got Michael on the spot, and we're playing around with numbers here. Let's see what rate you'd have to get on a 30-year mortgage to get the same payment. Well, I can tell you this: 5% is $24.15.
Okay.
So you're still not as good. My gosh, let's try 4.75. 4.75 is still not as low. Let's go 4.625. All right, that's okay. So really, the number is about 4.68. Yeah, I'm trying to get it down to the penny. About 4.68%.
Okay, so 1 point.
Yeah, 2.5 almost.
Yeah, 2.5 difference.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
So to people who think it's not a big deal or whatever, that's absolutely not the truth. It's a very, very big deal.
Sure.
The other thing to mention about this is, there's a negativity around it because people run the math, and I'll tell you what the real math is real quick. On a 30-year mortgage, and I'll tell you why this doesn't matter, but on a 30-year mortgage at, I think I did 5.875, you will pay $508,000 in interest, all right? On a 50-year mortgage, you will pay $946,000 in interest.
Sure.
But
to that same extent, though, what about a 15-year mortgage? How much? You know what I mean? So that's the same. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
A 15-year mortgage, you can save.
Yeah, you're at the 15-year mortgage, you're down to $228,000.
So there you go. So I mean, the same way a 15-year mortgage is not for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So a 50-year mortgage is not going to be for everybody. It's
nailed it. Yeah. And so it's all about, in my opinion, it's all about affordability.
Yep.
You know, you're getting into this mortgage. Here's another fun fact. Cindy and I did this a while back. The number of Americans who got a 30-year mortgage in the last 40 years and paid it to term under 3%.
Sure.
Historically.
Sure.
So it just doesn't happen.
Right.
So people are like, oh, excuse me, 50-year mortgage, it's going to be terrible. You know, you're going to pay all this interest. It doesn't happen.
Right.
You refinance, you sell, you move.
Sure. Life happens.
Life happens. Right. So I think what it does is it creates affordability right off the bat. And those are the things that I think we're going to see this Fed chairman do. And we're going to see this administration hopefully do for us is create some affordability.
Yeah, I agree.
Through this or some other products. So let's see. Talking about a little bit of news that happened. God, I was at this conference all weekend, so I didn't really get to see much of anything happen besides the Fed thing. What happened in your life this weekend? Anything exciting? Any news pop up? I'm putting you on the spot big time on this.
Yeah. Well, personal stuff, but nothing that we need to get into on the radio. Let's just put it like that.
Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break here. When we get back in just a minute from the Business Happy Hour, we're going to be talking to Michael about his story and how he got into real estate, what started him into this career. We're going to find out where he's from, what brought him here. Are you from Tampa by chance or no?
I am not originally from Tampa.
All right, good. All right, so I'm a local tampon over here, so I was hoping you're from somewhere else, so we got a good story.
I am.
This is good. And by the way, if you want to reach out to Michael, I'm going to give you his number for the first time on the show. It's 813-388-1576. It's 388-1576. Accidentally went off the Instagram, sorry. 1576. Reach out to Michael. You can always go to my website, 813mortgage.com or Lincoln Lend or LincolnLendingGroup.com, and we will get you in touch with Michael as well. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Courier Pigeons, MySpace. Who knows where you can find us everywhere. We're all over the place. We would like you to like and share. If you're watching the show right now, like and share. Send it out to your friends so we can get some more followers. We'll be back on the Business Happy Hour in just about 1 minute with Michael CINQUEMANO.
There you go.
All right. So we're off the air, but we're on Instagram Live still, so don't make that mistake. I always tell the joke that I've totally walked into the bathroom with it before and been like, oh, whoa, we can't keep going in here.
Yeah.
So you did great.
All right.
That was perfect first segment.
Good deal.
When we get into the second, we'll go ahead and we'll just let you kind of tell your story about where you're from and all that good stuff. And, and then we'll merge into more market stuff. That's where we'll get into the 100% programs, and we can ask each other questions on that.
Sure.
Oh, okay, Berlander, you're fast. Rock and roll.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Senia Akishina.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. Man, if you guys didn't hear, Michael CINQUEMANO and myself, he, by the way, he's from Mihara and Associates, we were running the numbers on a 30-year versus a 50-year mortgage. And I know the show, we're going to talk about real estate because I'm a mortgage guy and he's a real estate agent. But it's all about affordability, you know, and right now, I know Michael agrees with me on this, is this might be the absolute best time to buy. This might even be your last chance to buy because, you know, cycles usually in real estate go about 10 years or so. So if the things change and the prices start going up, it's a good chance you just lost an opportunity for a decade. And your kids could be out of school. They could be, you know, in college. You could be empty nest by the time you'd be ready to downsize. So if it's time to move up, it might be now. And honey, if you're listening, don't kill me when you get home, when I get home, because she is constantly looking for the newer, nicer house. And she's a real estate appraiser, so she's smart and she knows, you know, this is the time to buy. We just haven't found something that we really, you know, can agree on that's not 2.5 times the price of, you know, what we have now. But on the flip side, I tell a lot of my buyers this. It's like, well, and this is where she's going to kill me because I'm giving the advice that I'm not taking myself, is that, you know, this kind of is the time. So if you're going to make that move, would you agree?
I definitely would agree. You know, right now is a perfect time for buyers because, you know, you have the leverage still in this situation. You're not out there competing with multiple offers on every single property.
Right.
You have options to get the seller to pay concessions. all of that will go out the window very quickly as the market improves.
Yeah.
We spent years in a situation where there were multiple offers on every property. And if you didn't have cash or weren't putting a lot of money down conventional, a lot of times you didn't have a shot.
Yeah.
I worked with a lot of buyers that didn't have any shot. We worked for a long time and couldn't find anything. We had to wait till the market slowed down. Well, we're at a tipping point where the rates are good. The prices are as good as they're going to probably get for a while.
Yep.
And the competition is still not fierce. So it's a perfect time to get out there.
I agree. I couldn't have said that better myself.
Yep.
It is the right time. The sellers are definitely working with you, and you don't have a lot of competition. Mike, before you go into your story, go to your volume and just bring your volume down on your iPhone real quick, because I'm still hearing a little bit of echo coming from you. Or it might be, is your thing muted? Is your
It's muted.
Okay, then it's probably just the volume on your phone. But it was good. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
So we're gonna in the third segment, we're gonna get a little bit more into the market and talk a little bit more about where Michael and I see things going, which we definitely see eye to eye. This is the time, and everybody say, well, when is it going to change? Well, I know that the next catalyst is when this Fed chairman takes office, which is basically the end of March, beginning of April. So I'm telling people probably, late April, May, maybe beginning of the summer. Generally in real estate, and I think your experience would share the same, is that spring and summer, that's the buying time, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So we're coming up on it. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from? How'd you get to Florida? How'd you get into real estate? Take it away.
All right. So I am born and raised in a city right outside of New Orleans called Metairie, Louisiana.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope.
I should have said something yesterday, but it's more fun to do this on the air. That's where my wife's from.
Really?
Born in Metairie.
Really?
Like right from City Park.
Really?
Yes.
What are the chances of that?
Crazy. And nobody knows Metairie either.
No.
You got New Orleans.
That's why I just start with New Orleans.
Yeah.
They're like, Metairie, what is that?
That's awesome. All right. Well, dang, rock and roll. So now I know exactly where you grew up.
Yeah. So born and raised there. After I got married, we moved to the north side of the lake there in a town called Covington. Okay, we lived there for about 11 years before moving to Tampa in June of 21.
Okay.
So as far as career-wise, it was about 2016, and my wife and I were trying to sell our first home, and we hired somebody that the family knew, and they did just a horrible job. I mean, it was a terrible experience, and it was disgusting. And so we ended up firing him 3 months in.
Oh no, see, that's the worst. It's almost why people joke don't work with family on certain things. Like part of people don't want them to know their finances, but you had to fire family?
Well, it wasn't family. It was recommended from the family.
Okay.
So it wasn't that bad.
Still makes Thanksgiving a little awkward, right?
Yeah. But
so tell me a little bit of detail. What could have gone wrong? What did they do?
Well, the first thing was communication. So I'm big on communication. That's one of the things I strive to always communicate with my clients. And of course, when you go through experiences, you learn what you don't like, right?
Yep.
So that way, now that I'm in it, I know what I need to do. And so communication was key. Pricing, he didn't really give us any good market interpretation. So, it was bad. We got 3 showings in 3 months.
Oh my God. And what year was this?
This was 2015.
Okay. The market was actually pretty stable in 2015. It wasn't a wild market.
No. So when we fired him, and then I got a cold call from a big mega team there. I still didn't have much experience with real estate, so didn't know him at the time.
Right. What were you doing at the time?
I was actually selling automotive paint.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you were a salesman though. So you were in sales.
I was.
So you understood customer service.
I did. And so anyway, this guy, Lewis, he called and he came and got the appointment. I was impressed. He took over the listing and, was just floored at how different the two experiences were. He sold the house, got it done quickly. And so that led me to believe, I'm like, okay, you know what? He aligns with who I am. And I see how successful he is. I mean, he had a mega team selling 250 homes a year.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so anyway, a few months pass and I reach out to him and I say, hey, I'm interested in getting into real estate, but I want to learn from you, And so we went and had coffee and he took me on as part of his team and let me literally stay by his side for months, mentoring me, showing me what he does day to day, systems. So anyway, that started my career. That started my real estate career.
That's a great quick story right there. So it was an experience that led you to change your career, which I'll tell a little story when we get back from the break, because that's how my vice president, Jeff Sebring, who's been with me now, oh gosh, I mean, he's going to kill me, but I want to say he's been with me like 13 years or something like that. Very similar, where there was a negative situation that turned into a positive and turned into a career change. So we do have to take a break. When we get back, I'm going to ask you, I want to learn a little bit more about you starting as a real estate agent and what you went through and some of the good stuff. But we're going to take a break here on the Business Happy Hour. Don't forget to like and share. Send this out there for all your friends to watch the Business Happy Hour, and like us on Instagram, like Michael and me, since you have both of us on here. And his phone number is 813-388-1576. 388-1576. We'll be back in just a minute with Michael from Mihara & Associates. Cool. You want some water?
I got some.
You got some? Okay, cool. Just making sure. I'm at actually, we have plenty of time. We're good. We'll hold it. All right, so.
A little too long-winded there.
Yeah, no. We're doing good. We're killing it.
All right, cool.
And the segments are 12-8, 12-8. So that's it. This is our next long segment.
Cool.
Oh, no, we're doing great. I've got a bunch of little notes on some things. So when we come back, I think we'll stay on your story about getting into real estate. Okay. And you were looking for a change, and I want to ask you, what type of things did this other guy teach you, or did you just learn from the initial experience that made, how do you treat your customers?
Sure.
What do you do a little bit different?
Yeah.
Another question I'm going to ask you, just to not put you on the spot, is how did you think that the team, that guy, because you said mega team a couple times, right? And people have different thoughts on, is a mega team good? Are they bad? Do you need a Keller Williams name behind you? Do you not? How important is that? So I just want to get your opinion on how that works, because, we'll just chat about it.
All right. That sounds good.
You all set, James? Okay, rock and roll.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mihara & Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here, or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel, or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. We are on the air over 12 years here on 970 WFLA, News Radio WFLA. I always have a great time doing this show. We do want you guys to like and share. We want you to go to our Instagram pages. Go to Frank the Bank Cotto. You get a little Frank the Bank tip, usually a mortgage tip or a life tip every single day if you follow me. We also like to have a lot of fun, as you know. I always put a little fun stuff out there. I was at Disney this last weekend with my daughter's national cheerleading competition. Have you ever done these things? Do you have any daughters?
I have one daughter, but she does not do cheerleading. No.
What, is she into a sport or anything?
She's doing track this year at Steinbrenner. Yeah.
Okay. So track, kind of similar scenario where, I joke about cheerleading being, it's like the roller coaster of sports, and for the parents, because you go and you're there all day waiting, and you get a 2-minute performance, and if they do you get one more 2-minute performance, but you're there like literally 48 hours.
Yeah.
So track, I've got a good buddy. My son used to run track actually at CDS, and it was kind of similar. You sit there for the whole meet.
Yep. And you wait for their turn, and
that's it. And then, pew, they do. If you're lucky, they do a relay, so you get like a 2-minute experience. If you're doing the 100, it's like, okay, well, there's my 7 seconds of watching my son.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. You said she's at Steinbrenner?
She is. Yep.
That's a good school. Yep.
Yeah.
My mom actually used to teach there years and years ago.
Really?
I think when it first came out. So let's see. Before the break, I promise I'm going to tell Jeff's story here eventually because we share a very similar story about life career changes. But I'm curious. You know, you had that bad experience, and then you got cold called.
Yeah.
Which, side note, guys, cold calls work.
Yep.
You know, tell me if I'm wrong. It's all about timing.
It is timing.
Right.
It is 100% timing.
Did you realize it was a sales call when you picked it up?
I didn't. It was my first time. Like I said, my first time experiencing that. So,
and you're like, hey, and the guy's like, yeah, I'd like to list your house. You're like, well.
He was the first one, and then I had like 10 more that day.
Yeah. Oh, because you canceled your listing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's expired listing.
Exactly.
And then, okay. So, and was this guy one of the owners of the company?
He was the owner and rainmaker of the company. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's always the rainmakers who are making the cold calls, right?
Yeah.
So, so he took you under his wing.
He did.
Right. And he mentored you and whatnot. What did you learn from the experience you had from the other guy to him? And I know you were already a salesman, but I'm kind of curious what you learned there. And I want to ask you. Then I'm going to ask you about the teams, the difference in the bigger small teams.
Sure. So, communication, like I mentioned before, is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency is one of the things that I learned from him. Every morning, showing up, doing the same thing, cold calling. Okay, which is. I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable, but I learned how to do it. So you did that in the morning. You ran your appointments in the afternoon, and it was day after day after day, and then you see results from that. So as far as, client facing, it's systems. So you have certain days that you have set up to follow up, even if nothing has happened.
Right.
Because sometimes that's the hardest call to make as an agent. If it's been a week, we have no showings. We have no news.
Yeah, what do you say?
But you have somebody that's dying for information, so you need to make that call. So consistency on that as well. And then just the same, again, systems. You get a listing, you go XYZ to market the listing, you follow up, you get results, and repeat over and over again.
Yeah, rinse and repeat.
That's
right?
it.
So how about you mentioned the word mega team a couple times when you were telling your story. And you're now with Ray Mihara and Associates, and I would say Ray's got a mega team. I don't know what the word what's the definition of mega team. He's got like 100+ agents.
Sure,
seems like a big team to me.
Sure.
What's your opinion on was it the size of the team or the name of the company that sold it, or was it the agent and what he did, or was it both?
So it was both, right? Mm-hmm. Because as you get more sales and you have a better track history, your people know your name.
Right.
Also, when you speak to them and you can say, "Listen, we've sold this many homes this year."
Right.
So there's positives with the mega team that, you as an individual agent, sometimes you don't have.
Right.
Also, part of that was, again, just coming in knowing, okay, if I do this, exactly what he says to do, I will be successful.
Right, because you can see it.
Right.
It's right there in front of you.
Right. And so as a new agent, when I started, there were many new agents that started at the same time, and they quickly went out of the business because they didn't have that guidance. As far as an agent being on a big team structured, I think as a newer agent especially, it's a very important thing to get that type of experience to know what does it take to be successful.
I would 1,000% agree. I think one of the most important things you said earlier too is mentoring.
Yes,
is you have to have somebody who's already done it above you.
Yeah.
To figure it out. And I'll tell Jeff's story really quick, and then we're going to go into some products and kind of talk about what you as buyers need to be doing. Which, by the way, throughout this whole thing, if you are looking for an agent who actually understands communication, because he was put through the ringer himself, it's like you always want to work with somebody who has experience in a negative situation because they're going to give you the best service. Sure. Reach out to Michael at 813-388-1576. That's 388-1576. Did you have any listings that you wanted to chat about or anything?
No, not currently.
Okay, they're coming. Got it. So, because I know you had to take a little break in real estate, and now you're back full force.
I did, and so I'm happy to get going with Ray. We just kind of joined forces here the last couple weeks, and so just ready to roll. Man,
I love it. I think you joined at the right time too. He is. Couldn't be with a better broker. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this, but Jeff, my VP, if you guys have worked with me, you've probably worked with Jeff Sebring. Is one. He handles almost all of my transactions. Jeff, We closed, this was about 15 years ago. He went to buy his house with him and his wife, and they were using his wife and his father-in-law on the mortgage. Well, the loan was approved. Okay. I think we were supposed to close on a Thursday. He told me his dad had to go in for a routine shoulder operation on Wednesday. And we had a power of attorney signed, had everything ready, so in case he wasn't doing well, we could, still close on Thursday.
Sure.
Long story short, he passed away on the operating table, like a reaction or something to the anesthesia, something crazy happened. And we had to scramble and figure out, oh my God, how are we going to, he's grieving, his wife. Can you imagine losing your dad?
No.
And now you're about to lose your house,
right?
That they had worked very hard to get. Jeff was managing the casino boats here in Tampa, right? Okay. He was not a mortgage guy, but he actually researched the mortgage guidelines himself, not being a mortgagist. He found a couple loopholes in ways that we could get it done, brought it to me, and I worked hand in hand with him, my borrower, to get this loan. And back when this was happening, I was a much smaller shop. I had like 8 people with me. I didn't have a whole lot of staff and assistants. We figured it out together. I closed his loan personally, and then he, probably like you, sat me down, took me to lunch, and was like, I want to do what you do.
Sure.
Show me how to do it. Yeah. And so I just got this whole recollection when you said it, because I'm like,
that's amazing.
God,
yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
And I actually at the time, Jeff's like, I want you to hire me, and I'm like, Jeff, I can't afford to bring on a salary person. He made me an offer I can't refuse. He said, I will work for you for free for as long as it takes until you think I'm worth it to pay.
Yeah.
So he worked. I only let him do it for 30 days, but he worked both jobs, 80 hours a week, working the casino boat and working with me for free. Yeah. And after 30 days, I was like, I have to pay you. I have to, you are the real deal. And about 14, 15 years later, here we are. I got to give Jeff a lot of credit for helping us grow the company, and he's always been there for us behind the scenes and
That's awesome.
Things like that. So cool story.
Yeah, very cool.
Do you still talk to the guy who helped you?
I do. I talk to him. Yeah, and I constantly thank him because again, my life wouldn't be the same without him. So
and he's in Metairie?
He is. Well, actually, he's in Covington.
Covington.
So.
Are you still licensed in Louisiana?
I am not.
Okay. No. So, but so if nothing else, we'll have to pass the information over to this guy, to some of the family that we've got in Metairie and whatnot, because
100%.
That's great. What a small freaking world that you're from Metairie. So you've done some. Obviously, you've been to Mardi Gras many times. Then
yes.
Were you on the chairs as a kid and stuff?
I was on top of the ladder and in the makeshift chairs.
Yeah, the makeshift chairs.
That's a core childhood memory right there.
Exactly. And everybody talks about the crazy stuff that we do to get hurt and things. Go Google videos of children at Mardi Gras on top of these literally high chairs that they put on top of ladders with screw guns.
Yeah, it's an interesting time, but yeah.
I don't know if they do that anymore, do they?
Oh yeah.
They still do it?
Yeah, they still do it.
Those people are still crazy. One of my favorite things, that we're totally off topic here, but it's okay, we got a whole nother segment, is the drive-through daiquiri stands.
Oh yeah,
they still have those, don't they?
100%.
And is it the thing? Is it still the thing where they give you this giant freaking daiquiri when you drive up in your car, and they're like they give you the straw, but they can't put the straw in it?
That's right.
Is that the trick?
That's it. And as long as you don't put the straw in it, you're good to go.
You're good.
Yeah.
Listen, do you know anybody who doesn't put the straw in it? I mean,
well, I'm not gonna say.
No, okay, good man. Well, I just remember the first time my wife's like, "Hey, let's go get a drive-through daiquiri." I'm like, What do you mean drive-through daiquiri?
Yeah.
I was like, they can't do that.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, they do.
They do it, and it's popular.
It's popular. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So next time you're in New Orleans, and we're not telling you to put the straw in it till you're home, but they do have drive-through daiquiri shops.
You can even get it in a gallon.
No, can you really?
Yes, you can.
If you put the straw in the gallon, you deserve to get arrested. Okay. Oh, I would not advise it.
No.
Now, if you're 5 minutes from home, no, I don't know. Don't do that.
No.
So when we get back here, Michael and I are going to talk about some different products for you, especially you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. Pretty interesting set of products we have. That there's a lot of 100% products out there that you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, and that's the big kicker. Everybody thinks, oh, it has to be a first-time buyer to get 100%. No, it doesn't. And guess what? Your rates aren't going to suffer as well. But you got to stay tuned to our last segment to find out. And if you have something you want to talk to real estate-wise, call Michael at 813-388-1576. Frank the Bank will be back in just a minute on the Business Happy Hour. James, we are so on time. It's unbelievable. All right. Yes.
Awesome.
Good. Oh, all right. I was wondering, he's like sometimes we need a couple minutes and stuff. And yeah, he's like boom, 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 boom. This is moving quick. All right. Anything besides? I know we're going to go into those programs. Anything specific you want to hit?
No, I'm good with whatever you want to talk about.
And this is your first appearance. You come on another time, you'll have a little more understanding of what we do, and then you can bring stuff.
And hopefully I'll have some more listens and stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot on that. I was like,
it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, you can do that. Bringing a listing is always good. You can always talk about one of her listings too, or Ray's listing, and that. I know.
Y'all, you guys really, it's too much. You really don't want to know.
I had an idea what I was going to talk about, and then when he did that, I forgot what I was going to say, and I was like, "Oh shit! I just put us in bad spot right there." Yeah. All right, rock and roll.
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mihara and Associates.
All right, Tampa Bay, last segment. If you guys have made it this far, then you have earned the information that we are going to give you. We're going to talk about 100% products. Guys, don't forget, at Lincoln Lending Group, we do have every possible product under the sun. Matter of fact, I'm looking at the screen right now that James pulled up. I think my new website is live, and I totally did not realize that they had made it live already. So I'm over here checking it out. It looks great. So shout out to Chris Lawson over at PC Doctors. Chris Lawson at PC Doctors. Hope he doesn't kill me for this, but he built this website, and I am very impressed. It looks very, very good. Looking through all the products. Oh, man, he's got everything on here. Just noticed something here. Okay, loan program, reverse mortgage. Good. They have their own section. This is great. So you guys got to go to LincolnLendingGroup.com to see the brand new revamped website. You can get on there. You can see our reviews. You can apply. You can get mortgage updates by putting your phone number in there. We've got all kinds of great stuff for you guys here on the Lincoln Lending Group webpage. That's LincolnLendingGroup.com. So, Michael, we promised to talk to everybody about these 100% programs. What are you aware of on 100%?
Well, I know the USDA.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know about FHA 100%.
Yeah.
You just mentioned that. So what is that?
Yeah. So the FHA 100% program. So this is one of the only 100% loan programs out there that does not require you to be a first-time home buyer. So it has really two major benefits, but most people, when they think 100%, they're thinking down payment assistance.
Sure.
Right? And down payment assistance can be a negative thing because those down payment assistance programs require you a lot of times to have a low debt ratio, have reserves, and have like a high credit score. Not high, but like 640s. Well, let's be honest, Michael. How many guys who really need down payment assistance have low debt ratios and high credit scores? They don't. And listen, guys, that's not a bad thing. We're just being real. We're talking stats here.
Sure.
So I'm not a big fan of the down payment assistance programs, even though we have them. Instead, we look for looser programs, ones that allow us to follow our own guides. So the two major benefits to the FHA 100% product we have is, number one, you only have to have a 600 credit score.
Nice.
All right, so opens the door to a lot of people, right? Under 620, which is conventional minimum. And you, besides a 600 credit score, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer, and you can buy a single family or a duplex. So think about this. You're investor buyers, and I know you've heard this before because you've been in real estate a decade. Yep. Yeah. Hey, Michael, I'm an investor, and I want to buy an investment property, but I don't have a down payment.
Yep.
And you're like, what? Well, now you can say yes.
Yeah.
Right? Now, but they have to. Here's the key. They have to live
in one side.
Man, this guy, he knows his stuff over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if not, that's total occupancy fraud. But you got to live in one side, and everybody says for how long? How long do you think you got to live there?
1 year.
Boom. I love it.
Yep.
1 year. All right. So if you're a real estate agent and you've got that investor who doesn't have money, but he's willing to live in one of the sides for 1 year, then, Michael, you could sell him another duplex.
That's right.
At the end of a year.
That's right.
In 13 months, he could have 3 doors under management.
Yep.
Right. And then he could live in the other one for a year, and then by that time, I hope he's got money.
It's an amazing strategy that I wish I would have known about earlier on in my life.
Yeah, right? So veterans have been doing this for a long time. This weekend, it blows my mind that I was just talking to a veteran on Saturday, and he did not realize that he could have more than one VA loan. Yeah. And I have closed, most VA loans I've closed for any single veteran is 8.
Wow.
8 VA loans. Now, after a few loans, his eligibility is less, so he does have to bring a down payment down, right? But the down payment was equal to 20% of the difference between the purchase price and the eligibility. It turned out to be like $8,000.
Right.
It was minuscule, right? So the VA is another great 100% program, but that FHA one is 600 credit score. Whatever debt ratio approves, we can get done, so there's no maximum on the debt ratio, and single family or duplex. So great program. VA. I'm going to quiz you on something here. And then I'm going to make sure I invite you to my next Lunch and Learn, which, by the way, guys, we are having a Lunch and Learn in Midtown on February 12th. If you guys are interested, text me directly, 813-765 and 1239, 813-765-1239, and I'll send you a personal invite to the next Lunch and Learn for real estate agents or investors. But here's the quiz, Michael.
All right.
What's the minimum credit score on a VA loan? I'll be blown away if you get it right. So don't expect to.
580.
Great guess. So I like his guess because his guess is usually the minimum for most lenders.
Okay.
Right. And matter of fact, it's the almost across the board the minimum for most FHA lenders. Right. We go down to 500.
Wow.
On VA, we have no minimum credit score for veterans.
Wow.
That's right, veterans. If you've been told no and you're in the market to buy a house, you got to call Michael at 813-388-1576.
Yep.
But before you bother him, you probably want to go to LincolnLendingGroup.com and request some info or fill out an app. And then we will get you pre-approved. Even if you have a 487 credit score,
wow,
you can still get 100% financing.
That's amazing.
Right? The VA has a little rule. They got to make sure that whatever happened bad in your life, that you are on the track to fix it. Right? So you can have terrible credit, but you have to be on the track, to getting better.
Right.
Here's another fun one. What's the maximum debt ratio on a VA loan?
I don't even know.
All right. The answer: there is none.
There you go.
Maybe
that's why I didn't know.
Right. Eventually, you're gonna catch the drift on this one.
Okay.
But the maximum debt ratio on a VA loan is there is none with us. Wow. A lot of lenders will have a 50%, 55% maximum debt ratio.
Right.
So what does that mean? It means if Veterans United or USAA or one of these companies that think they help veterans, they tell them, oh, we can't do it because your debt ratio is over 55%, or you can only qualify for $400,000. But Michael and I know the average price is $450.
Right.
You come to Lincoln Lending Group, and we'll get you approved, and whatever approves works. The highest we've ever done, 73.5%.
Wow.
So that added almost 25% to their purchase price.
Wow.
So
no debt ratio and no minimum credit score.
Yeah. So, I know you're thinking what I am too is like, they need to accept VA offers as sellers.
Yeah.
That's your best offer.
100%.
Right? Because those guys could screw up their credit, screw up their debts, and they're still qualified.
And you're not going to get a denial at the last minute.
Right, which sadly happens all the time. Yeah. We're about out of time. We didn't really talk about USDA, but USDA is a great program. I'm glad that Michael knows about it. It's for more rural areas, but there are restrictions to it. Yeah. Best advice I have for you guys is come get your pre-approval letter. Yeah. Talk to Michael as well. He's going to need a letter to take you and show you houses
100%.
Most of the time.
I'll be sending them to you if they haven't talked to you already.
Done deal, Michael. Anything else you want to say to the guests before we roll?
No, just thank you so much for having me. I appreciated the time here and look forward to doing some business together. I
love it, man. And I know my wife's going to hear this and be like, all right, he's from Metairie. Now you got to work with him. You got it. Michael, you're a great real estate agent. Again, his number, 813-388-1576. That's 388-1576. Reach out to Michael, and we will get you guys approved and closed sooner than you know it. Have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you, Michael. All right, guys, Instagrammers, thanks for chiming in. Carolina.